and always bring this message of patient to you, pointing you to look inwardly to discover that your real identity is your divinity. And that is why I come to you and greeting you wherever you are. And I'm here to strengthen you and to build you so you will understand what is my mission. Okay, now as you can see, the topic is how to know your true disciples. And the reason why I choose this topic is because anyone who is a messenger or anyone who has been sent here or who decides to come here, okay, to teach, they would be speaking to you in a certain way. And that certain way in which they would bring their message to you, to some it would be parables, and to some it will be clearly known what you are actually saying to them. So there's some who would definitely resonate with you and be fully connected with you and who would support you in every way. Take the light out of my eyes, please. Okay, good. Yeah. And they will support you in every way. Okay? Now, I want to draw your attention to the Bible. Okay? And it speaks of the Christ. And the Christ is speaking of your higher self. And the disciples that follow the Christ is speaking of your thoughts. Your thoughts are what follow you wherever you go. So in this case, when I speak of my disciples, I'm speaking of those who would resonate with what I am saying. And those who would understand me as I speak in parables. I cannot speak no other way but in parables. Even as I'm speaking to you and you're hearing me in English language, I'm actually speaking in parables. I can't help but speak in parables. Everything I say to you, it always have a deeper meaning. But if you don't catch it, it is because it's not for you. That is why in Matthew chapter 13, and that's why it's very important to take note and to search these things for yourself. It is said that the question was asked to the Christ, why is it that you always speak to them in parables? But when it comes to us, it is clearly known. And they got the answer. The answer was, because it is not for them to know the mystery of the kingdom, but it's for you to know the mysteries of the kingdom. You see, you can't teach the mysteries of the kingdom to a child who haven't grown up as yet. And that's where he said also, to him who had, more would be given. But to him who doesn't have, even that which he has will be taken away. And that is why I'm here to bring to you a message of how to live the abundant life. And that abundant life will bring true freedom, because you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. So any true messenger, whether is it Buddha, whether is it Krishna, whether is it the Christ, whether is it Lord too, whoever it is that comes to you to deliver you and will point you to look inwardly, they have to speak in parables, because there will always be the true believers, the unbelievers, and the make believers. Now, for example, if you have a bucket of rice and it's filled with weevil, what are you gonna do? You're gonna throw away the whole bucket of rice? No. You're gonna sift out the weevil out of the rice and you continue to use the rice to cook. If you plant your field and you want to grow corn, and then you see that there's weed amongst the corn, what are you going to do? You're not going to destroy your whole field because of the weed that is among the corn, but you're going to sift out, you're going to weed out the wheat from among the corn, from choking the corn. Okay? So every true messenger would all speak in parables. Any true messenger would not try to be one who's trying to please all. He's not a true messenger. He hasn't been sent to you. Okay? Now, I like to tell stories. So I'm going to share a little story with you concerning the eagle and the chicken. And the story goes like this. A farmer went into the mountain and he found a nest, a bird nest. And in that nest was an egg, an eagle egg. And he took that eagle egg and he went back home with it. And he had a chicken farm. And he put that eagle egg under the chicken that was there so the egg can hatch and bring food. But all of this was taking place in a chicken pen. And so this eagle had its birth in a chicken pen. And while the eagle was among the chickens cannot understand the eagle, and the eagle couldn't understand the chickens. And when the eagle looked at these chickens eating all of these dead things, the eagle, started like scanning them. Why were they eating all these dead things and so on? But after a while, the eagle started to integrate with the chicken and start to eat like the chicken, start to behave like the chicken, and start to build a behavior, personality like the chicken. And then he noticed the chickens, they're all outbound. And he believed that he was supposed to be outbound also, walking among the chickens. But the mother eagle, who knew that, he had laid an egg, and the chicken's supposed to be born by now because someone would have taken that egg out of the nest. It began to make its flight and start to send a certain song, a certain screech to reach out to that eagle. And that eagle, even though it wasn't a chicken pen, it heard that scream. And it identified with that scream. And that eagle was hearing that scream saying, "You're not a chicken. You are an eagle. You don't belong to a chicken pen. You're not outbound. You're an eagle. You have microscopic and telescopic vision. You're born to fly higher than any bird. What are you doing in this chicken pen? Get out of the chicken pen." And so many people find themselves in a chicken pen mentality. And society is that chicken pen that wants to keep you outbound, that want to keep you in the world of the temporal things, and for you not to know your true self. But when you discover your true identity, then you will know who you are. That you're not a chicken. That you are an eagle. And that you can fly higher than any bird. So my brothers and my sisters, not everyone can resonate with this message because this is a message of truth. Now, let me say this. How many people has taken note of what I always say when I just start a video? Every video, when I now start the video, there's something I always say to everyone. Some people will never get it. Some people never understand it. And the very first thing I always deal with is your true identity. So the ego story is a reality of life. And the ego, when it has its young, the ego would feed its young from beak to beak, mouth in mouth. And those young eagle, they would grow in the nest. But it would be their mother going and finding the food and feeding them mouth to mouth. And they will all stay in the nest, being warmed, being comforted, being taken care of. But there comes a time when the mother eagle would say, okay, you claim to be an eagle. Let's see if you're a real eagle. Let's see if you're a true eagle. You know what? You know what that mother eagle will do? Will mash up that nest. Will tear that nest apart. Oh, you're an eagle, then fly. If you're an eagle, fly like an eagle, mash up the nest. So it's all in nature. So too, a true teacher, a true master would always do that. Mash up the nest. If you're an eagle, fly. Show that you're an eagle. Don't talk about just being an eagle. Show that you're an eagle. And that is why when you read the story of the Christ, and he says, unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood, you can't be called a disciple of mine. Those who love the bread and fish, those who have seen the miracles, they say, I must eat your flesh and drink your blood. They say, that's a madman. That's a crazy man. I ain't following him no more. Because that's a madman. I must eat his flesh and drink his blood. They didn't understand. They didn't understand. But they were pretending that they understand the teacher. Until he said, unless you eat my flesh and drink my blood. And so they say, you know what? I turn him back. I'm going to find someone who's going to tell me exactly what I want to hear. I want someone who's going to give me a false notion of love. A false notion of oneness and togetherness. And then he turned to the others and said, what happened to you guys? You still here? What are you waiting for? Why are you still here? Shall you go also? Then the real disciples say, to who? Go to who? To whom shall we go? Don't ask what? The words of life. I resonate with you. I understand that you stand for truth. I understand that you stand for principle. I understand what you're saying. I realize you always pointing me to look inwardly to discover that my real identity is my divinity. See, I ain't going nowhere. I stay right here because I understand where you're coming from. I understand balance, and everything must be balanced. I understand that there can't be love without there is hate. I understand how to play the game of life. And one have to be the head and one have to be the tail. One have to be the master and one have to be the slave. And you're teaching me to live from here, not from here. You're not going to teach me a false unity. Could you imagine someone walk into your home and rape your wife, rape your daughter, sodomize your son, then turn around and say, look, because we are one, I'm going to give you $100 million. Do you think that is gonna ease the pain? Do you think that's gonna ease the hurt? No. One that has true love would say, look, there's always a healing that is needed. There's always a purging that is needed. And when we look around, we are living in a time when we are seeing something just like that, where someone can just kill, rape, plunder, put others in prison, like the exonerated 5. Innocent about of rape, spend all those years, and then say, look, I'm gonna give you guys millions of dollars. That's how I'm gonna settle it. I'm gonna settle it with money. But what about the pain? What about the hurt? So when I bring my message of truth, I'm bringing a message to bring a cleansing, to bring a healing, to bring a purging, to show you that you carry around hurt inside of you that you must let go of. Don't try to cover it up. Don't try to go around it. Do you believe that I would be a true messenger and I don't know your heart and I don't know your pain and I'm going to just sweep them under the rug and say to you, ooh, we are all one. Let's just love. We are all one. No, I know of a different oneness. When I speak of oneness, I speak of consciousness. That there's one universal consciousness. That's what I speak of. There's one universal consciousness. And when that consciousness, which is that one universal consciousness, when there's hurt, where there's pain, the first thing you have to do is bring a cleansing to your people. Bring a purging to your people and show them why they need to be purged, why they need to be cleansed. From generation to generation, there's been pain, there's been trauma. Our spiritual belief system was taught to us out of pain, out of trauma, out of hurt, out of ill. You got to cleanse that first, my brother, my sisters. Nobody could tell me otherwise. Then you're going to start to talk about true oneness. There must be a cleansing. Before any kind of reparations and all of these things, there must be a cleansing of a people. There's a people that need a cleansing, they need a purging, they need a washing. Many of us, we come from parents from way back with a lot of traumas. Money cannot heal that trauma. Let me say this, as someone who born and grew up in the Caribbean, and which most people don't know. I think I just jotted it down, I remember. So I can remember. The most racially diverse region is the Caribbean region. The most racially diverse region. I want to believe any part of the world is the Caribbean. And let me give you an example. Like for example, in my country, you have the Indians who live out in Calder. Then you have the Caribs who live beyond the Dry River. And then you have the, let me see how to call them. Okay, some people call them the Portuguese. Some people call them Bajan. Okay, but they are say white. Okay, and they live at Dorsetshire Hill in my country. Then you have us. Okay, Negroes. And still, though we all live in this little country with 120,000 people, we still need a healing. Because the Indians are seeing things a certain way. The Portuguese are seeing things a certain way. The Caribs are seeing things a certain way. Because why? There's such a diverse set of people living in one region. And when we look at the region, we see it being referred to as third world. And it goes back to what? Mentality. So if we're going to come together and if we're going to have oneness, before that can happen, there must be a purging, there must be a cleansing, and only the truth can do that. And people need to know the truth. Because it's only the truth that can set you free. What else can set you free but the truth? You know, there's a story of a young boy, an old man, and a donkey. And they were out of money and they wanted to sell this donkey. So the old man decided to ride on the donkey while the little boy walked. And everyone was saying, this old man is wicked. How could he be riding this donkey and have this young boy walking? Then the old man came off of the donkey and put the boy on the donkey. And everyone was crying shame on the boy. Oh, he's a wicked boy. How could he have that old man walking and he's riding that donkey? He's wicked. Then both of them get on the donkey and everybody cries shame on them. Two of you riding that poor dumb animal, you wicked. And the story goes like this. They turn around instead and try to carry the donkey. Instead the donkey carry them. And they fall over a cliff. And they die. That is trying to show you when you allow society to shape your thinking. When you allow society to control your thinking, you are destroying yourself. And that is why you have to live your truth. You have to stand your truth. Even if everyone disagrees with you, you have to stand for what is right. You have to stand for the truth. For example, if you look on social media and you see some jammer, you see the amount of people who's following that jammer. If it's a Charlie man and some Kwame Brown jammer, you see people following that jammer. If it's something with Monique, you see they following that jammer. Why? Are people love jammer. They don't love the truth. They can't face the truth. And people want a false oneness to hold on to. They want a false love to hold on to. But genuine love is corrective. Now, could you imagine, right? You have your son and you have your daughter, and you're claiming that you have love for your son and you have love for your daughter. And he or she is standing in the road, and you see a big truck coming down the road with full speed, and you're going to say, son, my son, get out of the road. My daughter, my loving daughter, please get out of the road. No, you're not going to do that. You're going to scream at them to get out of the road. And when you see something that is happening to a people, and you realize that there's one universal consciousness, and it's only until you tap into this one universal consciousness, you would realize what is going on. What are you going to do? You're going to hold it from them? Because you're self-realized, and they're not self-realized? Because you've been illuminated, and they haven't been illuminated? What are you going to do? You're going to join a brotherhood and hide the truth from them, or you're going to tell them the truth? Even if it hurts, you got to tell people the truth. Could you imagine you come from one culture, you come from one neighborhood, and you're going to join with someone from a different culture and a different neighborhood, and you haven't been purged, and she haven't been purged? If there's no purging, open up the window. If there's no purging, so I could get some breeze. Yeah. If there's no purging, if there's no cleansing, they will have a hard time with that relationship, because there must be compatibility. A lot of people is mixing up compatibility with their so-called love. And most of the time, the people who love to talk about love the most don't even love themselves. That's why they would use words like, when you fall in love, you don't see color, you don't see that. You have to deal with the situations. You have to deal with things that you inherit from your parents. You have to deal with things that you inherit from generation after generation. You have to deal with it. I don't mean to be so loud, but I have to be loud. I have to speak the truth. So I'm living in the most racially diverse region around the world, which is the Caribbean. And I'm telling you what I've been telling you all the time. There must be a purging. There must be a cleansing. So there are people who say, oh, I don't agree with you, this that make more sense of what you are trying to debate about, and stop being a coward. Don't be a coward around a computer or around a cell phone. Don't be a coward. Don't sell yourself that short. I say it and I will say it again. There's no true reparation without a cleansing and without a purging, without people knowing the truth. There can never be no true oneness. No, you're not going to allow someone to do anything and then pay you money to settle it. Then you're left in money and saying that money is more valuable than you. But I'm saying to you that you're more valuable than money. Now, and the issue of where I was speaking about interracial marriage. Let me say this. The first woman I ever make love to is a black woman, because I came out from down below of her vagina, and I sucked her breast. Those two places are very much inclusive, are very part of the art of love making. So, give me a good reason why the place I came from and the breast I suck, why I wouldn't want to go back there. Why I must go somewhere else? I'm not going to live in denial. I didn't suck the breast of a white woman to get when I was expressed here. When I came from down below, it wasn't from a white woman. Yet I know that the consciousness that is in all of us, it has no color, it has no ethnicity, it has none of that. I know it. Not just by theory, by experience. I had a real experience. And that's why I'm saying that a people that looks like me need to be purged. They need to be washed. They need to be cleansed. And nothing can cleanse them but the truth. When I'm marrying with someone else to prove that love and oneness is that's not true. You're fooling yourself. Because you're going to do it with all the hurts and all the pains that are there from generation to generation. So there must be a cleansing. And that's why, even as I was saying before, any message that has been sent, he must speak in a way to bring a cleansing. Let them go. As I said before, I'm here not looking for subscribers. I'm here to inspire, to edify, and to uplift those who want to lift the higher self and live the best version of themselves here. And you cannot do that without self-realization. You cannot do that by looking within. If someone taught you to look outside of yourself, they're brainwashing you, they're keeping you in limitation, and then they turn around now and say, look, because of love and because of oneness, I'm gonna pay you. I'm gonna give you money. I'm gonna give you my daughter. I'm gonna give you my son. That is not gonna help. I'm gonna have to go back right within where I was brainwashed. I was kept in mental slavery, and I would have to reprogram my subconscious mind. So that's the kind of cleansing that I'm speaking about. You see, there's an agenda on the internet or on social media where everybody believe that they're conscious and they believe that they're woke because there's so much information. But before I ever come on social media, I was warned of parrotism. Just saying back where you hear someone else say. And there's some people who come on social media and say anything to make $1. They would do that. So I'm not going to compromise. Okay, I'm going to speak the truth. So my brother, my sisters, if anyone, whoever listens to me, if you do not agree with what I'm saying, you have so much alternative on the internet. There's so much alternative on the internet. There's so much different people you can go and listen to. There are people who email me and want me to bow to them. I won't do that. I'll stand with the truth and I'll speak with the truth. Even if it's me alone, I'll stand with the truth. Before you can get into any kind of relationship, whether interracial relationship or not interracial, there must be a cleansing, there must be a purging. But I'm speaking about especially the interracial one. They must be cleansing. They're coming from different neighborhoods. They're coming from different backgrounds. Tell me about when you have love, you don't see color and all of these things. When the pandemic going on, in the heart of the pandemic, they're building more hotels in the Caribbean and much people couldn't see it. I was having fun looking at it. How much more resorts, how much more marinas, how much more they're building in the Caribbean, a pandemic, and you see people gonna die in the heart of a pandemic. You preparing walk. You preparing walk for the slaves to keep them a sort of way. Why? Because most of them do not know their true self. They do not know their higher self. They do not know that they are the creator. They do not know that they are the Lord and Master of their own destiny and that they can create their reality consciously. So when a man or woman do not know themselves, they can't come and talk about love because the first one you have to love is yourself. The first one you have to appreciate is yourself. There's no greater knowledge than self-knowledge. It's not a PhD. It's not having a degree in psychology. It's knowing who you are. And when you know who you are, then you would understand these things that I'm saying. So it's not everyone going to understand what I'm saying. It's not everyone going to agree with what I am saying. But I know exactly what I am saying. Doesn't matter how woke you think you are. You have to face the fact that as long as you're here having a human experience, you will be judged from your outer appearance. If I was to leave the Caribbean and go to America and go in a certain neighborhood as a black man, you think the people in that certain neighborhood are going to say, oh, he's woke? No, they're going to call the cop on me. So you can't just say, oh, we are all one and love and so on. I know when I speak of oneness, it's not the kind of oneness that most people believe that we are speaking about. Any conscious person, any person who wake up and speak about oneness, you talk about that universal oneness. It's like that universal consciousness, I mean to say. I have to go to the toilet, you have to go to the toilet. Yes, I know all of that. But I'm speaking of a different oneness. All the people who talking. Oh, I disagree with this, I disagree with that. Say some, make some sense. There's one universal consciousness. And there are those who have done so many things to take away the understanding or the awareness of that one universal consciousness. And that is what I'm trying to show our people who think that they're intellectual. But you know what? There will always be the field slaves, the horse slaves, and the free men. Those who are free will always be free. That's why they feel free to speak what is on their heart. Because they don't sell themselves short for money. This is not something new. This is something that's been going on for hundreds of years. Right now we are what, thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away. But I can sense, you can sense my energy and I can sense your energy. You can sense the energy of a field slave. You can sense the energy of a horse slave. And you can sense the energy of a free one, a free man. Can anyone ever accuse me of teaching hate? Can anyone do that? I'm only speaking the truth and I'm going to stand for the truth. And this whole thing, this whole Christianity thing is what make people so brainwashed and make our men so soft and so sissified. Make they tell you, oh, we are all one. Forget about that. There's something a long time ago. Oh, Jesus going to heal you. Let me just tell a little story. Which just happened recently in my country with the volcano eruption, with the volcanic eruption. No Christians stayed in their house and call on Jesus. They all run for their life. Yet they're telling me about a Savior outside of myself, some 2,000 years ago. Brainwash our people, keep them dumb, keep them stupid, and then say, no, I'm going to pay you some money. And when I pay you the money, we all become one. I'm going to give you my daughter and my son too. Then that going to make us one. No, it's foolishness. I'm not going to buy into such a foolishness. We have to show our people where they've been brainwashed, where they've been deceived, and that's why they need a purging, they need a cleansing before you can talk about oneness. The only true oneness is when you discover that you're pure consciousness. You're pure consciousness. That's all you are. Pure consciousness. That's when you discover your nothingness. And when you discover your nothingness, you will know that no one is superior over you. You will know that there's no such a thing as a hierarchy. You will realize all the president, prime minister, they're puppets. Not gonna afraid to say that. Your police force, your army, they're all puppets. Until you know your true self, you can't speak about love or unity. You can't. It just can't happen. You can never say we are one. Who's the we that you're talking about? If it's one, where's the we comes in? One universal consciousness. One universal consciousness. And until you becomes that consciousness, by disappearing, you must disappear. There must be a death. That's why they tell you the death of Moses, no one knows the burial place of Moses. When you bury that self, that ego self that society gives you, the false identity that society gives you, that's when you can appear and the mount with your Christ. The mount of transfiguration. So no one is going to come and tell me, tell me this and tell me that, and that's why I say I'm not speaking to subscribers. I'm speaking to my followers. I'm speaking to my true disciples. Many of my true disciples, they don't come on here. They contact me. They support me, and they will always do it. Because they're true disciples, because they're connected with the deep within me, and I'm connected with the deep within them. The divine in me is connected with the divine in them. Because they know truth. They understand truth. All the people who are speaking about oneness and speaking about love, I want someone to go in their home and rape their wife, rape their daughter, and sodomize their son, and kill some of the family members too, and they must say, oh, it's just love. We are all one. What kind of oneness is that? That's not true oneness. So my brother, my sisters, you have to understand how consciousness works and what consciousness is all about. Let me just say this. If someone looks like me, okay, and they say they now self-realize, what have you realized? Tell me, what have you realized? If you self-realize, what have you realized? There must be something that you don't realize. And then, if you don't realize and you say, no, we are one, then those who wasn't treating you like you were one would have to tell you the reason why they wasn't treating you as one. They have to say either it had to be like they were uncivilized. Because if you're telling me now that we are one, let us unite. Because we are all one. And it's all about love. So why you do things to me or my ancestors that wasn't done out of love? Why a certain kind of religion and a certain kind of belief system was given to them, not in a loving way, but through heart and chema. Then, if you true, why you want to give me money? Just money. And you don't want to tell me the reason why. I have to go to the root. It's like you go to a doctor and the doctor just sending you to the pharmacy. Go buy this medication. Go buy this medication. Go buy this medication. Go buy this medication. And all the medication giving you side effect. And you can't go to the source of the problem. You can't go to the root of the problem. I'm going to the root of the problem. Everything that's happening in black communities and black society, the root of the problem starts from slavery. And that's a fact. Love me or hate me, I don't give up. That's a song by B. Flowers. It's the truth. So there must be a purging, there must be a healing, and there must be men and women who must stand for the truth and tell the people the truth and let them know what is true oneness. Is understanding one universal consciousness. And you are robbed of that one universal consciousness. Because when you understand that one universal consciousness, and you understand how the mind works, and you understand what was done in your subconscious mind, that's when you would know what it really means to be a realized one. And that is just one level. But when you go behind your skull and become invisible, is another level. So this is not, I'm not an intellectual man sitting here. I just speaking from my experience. And I'm just showing you the hurt and the pain that many of us been carrying. Because what I'm doing here is what I was doing in a past life. And I will continue to do it. Could you imagine if a black man get in a relationship with a white woman and he have to heal himself and he have hurt, he's having sex with hurt, you know, and revenge. He's having sex with revenge in his mind. That's not the real revenge. You have to cleanse yourself, my brothers and my sisters. We have to cleanse ourselves. We have to cleanse our mind and accept the fact that we are all brainwashed. That's why they call us stupid. That's why they call him monkey. A monkey means an unestablished mind. Unorganized mind. So you have to face the truth. After vaccination, reparation. It's so ironic. Make me laugh. So my brother and my sisters, I don't think I want to go on and on, you know, but I want to say, you will any true messenger, I'm not glasses for me, please. Any true messenger will always have a siphon. Any true messenger will always speak in parables to get rid of the wheat. Because he wants to harvest of corn. People who understand what is true oneness. People who understand what is true unity. If you do not unite with the higher self, there is no unity. If you do not learn to love yourself, there is no true love. You cannot give what you do not have. Until you love yourself and accept yourself and understand what our ancestors stood for and go back to that true original African spirituality, you can never know what is true love. If you look at all the black women who end up in interracial marriage, they're looking for love. And black men have abused them too. And the black men have abused them because some of them come from parents when you chase it back down, they were all abused also. You tell me what the white man didn't abuse black men and black women? You tell me they didn't do it? What's wrong with speaking about it? So why when they come with a Bible down here as missionary and tell you about Jesus, right? Why you must listen to them? How you could come and tell me that whatsoever you sow, that also shall you read, and come in and use the Bible and come and teach me the Bible and tell me about fornication and tell me about adultery and you rape and kill and steal and still doing it in a different way? Let me tell you something. I know of a guy from Liberia. He's a bodybuilder, okay? NDO champ. And one time I was listening to him tell of his story when how they flee Liberia and they came to America, and when he find himself, it's like it was another war zone they end up in, right? But to cut a long story short, he was making his hustle walking, you know, trying to better himself. You know what I mean? And some white cops pull him over, take him out, search him up this, that. He telling them, look, I don't smoke, I don't do none of these things. And they put the weed on him. They put marijuana on that guy from Liberia and send him jail and make, when he do come back out, because the judge said this, when he really explained it, the judge realized these cops, these white cops put marijuana on this black guy from Liberia. He set him free, but when he come back, he didn't get his job. He didn't get back his job. But because he had good in him, he pursued himself now till he's someone on the internet. And doing his personal training and do all that and make me best out of his life. Tell me you're not going to talk about that. I don't have to live in America to know what people are going on, but if we're going to continue, so there's a time the one in the diaspora are going to stand with those in America. If they don't want to stand up and face the truth. Everybody just get caught up with money. When you find yourself, any money will come to you. You don't have to work for it. That will work for you. All the inspiration will come to you. Ideas that were on the wall. It always seems like we're behind. And everyone is ahead of us. So we have to wake up. So somebody have to come and wake you up. Somebody have to come and tell you the truth. So we need that cleansing, we need that purging. And that's why I'm only speaking to true disciples. And I said before, your disciple is a thought. So those who have like-mindedness, that's what I'm speaking to. I think I'm speaking to you because of this complexion. I first black from here, not here. That's where my blackness starts, right here. And even until I became nothing and understand all this consciousness, I am pure consciousness. I still, this melanated body, since once I have in this human experience, I'm still going to identify myself with the people. And stand with them, in spite of. They themselves might turn around and even condemn me, but I'm going to stand with them anyhow. Because I have to speak the truth. I can't do nothing else but speak the truth. I know what it's like to cook on wood fire. My grandmother, we grew up, my grandmother was cooking on wood fire, black pot. Let me say something else. Just recently I was looking at a documentary, and you can check it out, with poor white South Africans. Poor, they're poor and they're white, and they're in South Africa. Okay, and they're living in poverty. And I'm telling the honest truth, when I see them, I never felt that way for black people in poverty, like how I felt for them, because they don't even know how to survive in poverty. It's the nastiest thing I ever see. I see black people in poverty, but they know how to survive. It saddened me. Yeah, people come and tell me about love and this and that. You mustn't talk about race. Because if you talk about race, you ain't conscious. That's not true. Tell anybody that's not true. Let me give my brother thanks here for this donation. He said, "Greetings, I live, yet not I, but Christ, consciousness in me. This is a oneness with your Christ self. We can do nothing of flesh." Exactly that. So when I speak of my kind of oneness and the kind of oneness that other people speaking about, it's some different kind of oneness they're talking about. The kind of oneness they're talking about, right? It seems like you could just walk into their homes and rape their mother and their father and sodomize and say their sons and so on, and they go say, well, ooh, that's just love, that's oneness. Is it the church kind of oneness they might talk about, the Christian kind of oneness, the brainwash Christianity kind of oneness, which is a lie. They're talking about. And that will make our men, they're not men again. They have no balls. Sissified. Making a preacher control your life. That's why I tell people, don't look up to me, because I look up to no one. And I will not look down on anyone. But I have to speak the truth. I'm not going to use a preacher to be my example. You have to be your own example. If you want to take the vaccine, you're supposed to make your decision for yourself. You don't make a pastor tell you to make that decision. You don't make a politician tell you to make the decision. You make it for yourself. And if you make it for yourself, that's your decision. Everybody have made their own decision. Don't just say you're God, you gotta live like one. And when you live like one, you'll understand the Christ, the God in you says, I am the one who kill and I'm the one who make alive. I am the one who wound and I'm the one who heal. So the consciousness in me, that will do the healing. But I show you that you're trying to cover up your heart and your pain and you're lying to yourself. Any black man or woman who come and try to preach oneness and all of these things and don't want to highlight what was done through slavery, you're fooling yourself. Stop fooling yourself. Don't be like a Christian fooling himself. Think God is all about love? No. You can't have light alone and no darkness. There's a lot of polarity, and the lot of polarity will always stand. And the divine reproduction will always stand that every seed and every species must and will always reproduce after its own kind. So as I said before, I'm filled with curiosity. I want somebody help me, please. I want somebody help me and tell me who inspired slavery? Who do it? What consciousness push these people to enslave a loving, kind-hearted set of people? And don't want to just give us money and settling now for interracial marriage when men used to get lynched for just looking at a white woman. You tell me people mustn't talk about that? You think I carry any hurt or any ill towards anyone? I'm not carrying that. I will never carry it either. Because it wasn't until I come to nothing, absolutely nothing, one like the wind, that I know what happened to our people. You tell me I grew up all my life I grew up stupid. I was stupid. I was actually a monkey, a black monkey. That's who I was. But I'm no longer a monkey. I'm God in flesh. I am the creator of my reality. No wonder why when the missionaries come down here, you want to talk with a white man, he will talk anything else, but he don't want to talk about what your ancestors did. But when they get by themselves, they talk about the greatness of their ancestors. And when we talk about the greatness of our ancestors, they vex. If you come and tell me, look, you guys will ascend faster than us. So we are afraid. So we have to do you guys all of these things because you guys can ascend faster than us because of your melanin or something like that, and you're more connected to nature, and we have to do it for our survival. I might understand that. If you say, well, we have to intermingle because my race going this extinct, and we try to save the race, maybe I might understand. You know why? Down here in the Caribbean, our people, fishermen and farmers, okay? They used to go and they're going to sea and they fish. Turtle is a species, a turtle, okay? And now they're saying, don't catch certain turtle at certain time because we don't want the species to be extinct. The people in the Grenadines, they were making their living by whaling. They used to catch whale. And when they catch a whale, that whale will last them for maybe a year, 2 years. Whatever they get from the whale to feed themselves. They want to make rule. A lot of white people come and live in the Grenadines. And now they want to rally for these people to stop something that was like a tradition and a livelihood for them. To hunt the whale. Say, don't destroy the whale. And these are the more destructive people. They went to America, destroy the Indians, take the land. Everywhere they go. That's it. That's not it. That's truth. How that could be it? A white man checked me to interview me. I didn't refuse. That's not it. That's truth. People can't stand the truth. That's why they give them church and give them Jesus. To hide it. They give them a crutch. They give them something to hide behind. So people hiding behind Christianity, people hiding behind a so-called oneness, a so-called unity, and people hiding behind a fast woke kind of concept. So when they talk about race, people thinking, well, you're not woke. Tell me experience. So many people talk about how much books they read. Some talking about they travel to Egypt, they travel to this, they travel to that. Yes, you live in America. You can say they might get money more than someone else and they could travel, they could go to those places. But tell me experience. No wonder why I heard Farrakhan and an interview with Muta Baruka. Tell Muta Baruka that Elijah Muhammad says that when the people in the Caribbean start to wake up, with people in America for 26, 30, 40, 50 years with learning, people in the Caribbean, when they wake up in 6 months, they know all of that because it's by experience. No matter how much book you read, you have no library down here except what they give the people down here to keep them in colonial mentality. Only those kind of library. So they read certain books and when they done and they get certain education, they get a job. They say the Arabs first enslaved black people. Who you think running all of the stores and so on in the city now in my country? Arabs. Tell me about oneness. And then they start to marry the women too. That's not hate, that's love. I now, many of them just move real good. So my brothers and my sisters, I only speaking to my disciples. And when I say disciples, let me explain again that disciple is a follower what follow you ever go, is a thought that follow you ever go. So I'm speaking about those who have the same mind, those who have the same mind, who vibrate in the same place, who understand what is true consciousness, what is true oneness. I'm curious. I want to know. I definitely want to know what kind of people would want to do those kind of hideous kind of thing to another set of people and then want to say, oh, we are one. And I want to know also, where is it, right, that I was following and listening to a white man named William Branham. I had the tapes in my house. I didn't know who he was at the time, listening to him, right? And that inner voice in me telling me, put on some clothes and go to bed, to sleep. Because you're gonna get a dream. And I got that dream. Okay, and when I wake up the next morning, okay, actually, when I do catch myself after when I lie down and so on, was the next morning, but in the dream, when I had the dream, I meet the burning bush, that burns that doesn't consume. And the man walked from that burning bush and gave me my commission. It wasn't a white man, it was a black man just like me. Tell somebody explain. All the talkers who behind the cell phone and behind the computer talking a bunch of shit. Explain those things for me. Tell me your experience. You see a lot of people talking, just like the preachers. You hear all the preachers, Gino Jennings, all of them, they're preaching, but they're not telling you their experience. Let them tell you their experience. Some of them, oh, hotel, this, that. I mean, I don't know anything about that. Tell me, what is your experience? What's your experience? Tell me what is your awakening experience. I listen to people like Sadhu talk the experience. I had the same experience. You must become nothing. Become one like the wind. You must act, you must disappear. This is not ego speaking, this is not man bragging. No, it's not. This is a man of confidence. To know I didn't send myself. I didn't decide one day, I didn't just wake up one day and say I'm going on YouTube. I didn't say no one thing about YouTube. No, everybody using social media with some sort of agenda. And when man of truth come around, you talk about, you do it. If you don't disagree, fine, move on. But don't come and talk shit. Sometimes when some people talk, it's like you want to say, what smells like that? Because they're talking shit. If I'm going to condone what was done through slavery, let me say it again, if I have to just condone what was done through slavery and I say I'm a self-realized person, I understand what happened. And I'm self-realized. It's because I'm saying you could kill, you could murder, you could rape, you could steal, you could do all of that. And then afterwards you come back and you pay the person. You give them money because money is more valuable than people's life. That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying no, money can never be more valuable than people's lives. Tell them about it. So when I say I do not agree with interracial marriage, don't try to change that. And when I come from a region which is the most racially diverse region, but I guess in the world, the Caribbean, most racially diverse, very much diverse. So if we're gonna mix our seed, we must have to do with some healing, some cleansing. Coming to ours, so let me just read these comments and just, have a good time here. With those who want the truth, this is not for everybody. Okay? Let me go back to the top. This is not for everybody. Let me greet everybody and thank everybody who joined the chat. Spiritual man, I want to thank you. Jane Board, I want to thank you. Sheldon Williams, I want to thank you also. Let me see. I'm a spiritual being in a human body. Since when we know that we are spirit in a human body, since we escape the idol that they give to we, the Jesus, blonde hair, blue eye, idol, that's a lie. That's the truth. That's the only how we're gonna know. And when you get further awakening experience, that's when you might get even more radical and understand where you're coming from. Sheldon, real talk. Real men bring real talk. Yes, this is real talk. Take real men to know this is real talk. I don't know where people in America have the word coon from. I don't know what it really means, but it seems like it means like a man who have I guess horse slave mentality. This called a coon. I guess so. But this man here would never be a coon. I've always been a warrior. Just in case you don't know, I've always been a warrior. Trying to free our people. It has always been. Connected to everything, attached to nothing. When you say connected to, you see, let me explain this, right? When you talk about connected to everything and attached to nothing, that is not really enlightenment, a man who experienced true enlightenment to become one, one with the wind, like how I became one with the wind, If you listen to Sadhguru say everything was he and he was everything, That's an experience. That's not really a quotation, people just quote. I'm not saying the sister just quoted. I just making it plain. Because social media destroying a lot of people. There's a lot of people social media destroying. With intellectualism. Intellectualism is something that destroys black people. The fast education. If you never experience it, you don't really know it. I don't hear people make that quote plenty. If you never experience it, you don't really know it. Jason John, nice having you also. Jason John, love to you. You said that's right. And that's truth. Right would always be right. Because right and truth is the same thing. And truth and light is the same thing. Thank you for another great message. It's always a great message when you speak from your heart. And when you speak the truth out of love. Because love is corrective. Love is corrective. And if I had true love, I would correct the white man for all his ills and tell him no money can do it. And change the educational system and stop at the governments all around the world as puppets, still enslaving the people using an educational system and a religious system. Afraid to say that. I'm not Nelson Mandela. Start as a warrior and end up as a politician. That's not me. Truth will always prevail. Of course, the truth must always prevail. The truth must always prevail. Oneness with Christ. And when the brother say oneness with Christ, we ain't talking about no man 2,000 years ago. We ain't talking about blonde hair, blue eye, no man. We're talking about our higher self. That's why you have to learn to love yourself before you talk about love and oneness. You know yourself, love yourself, looking for love. Talking about looking for love. Talking about black men do. So black men do love. So they have to go and get a white man. Flowers is love. Then you have to say all the raping and all of these things was love too. You have to see those things so you can heal yourself. I already heal. I'm doing it for all who have the tremors and so on. So they can feel yourself too. And stop hiding. That's how they hide behind Christianity. Talking about we are all one. and all God's children. So if the white man didn't know we were all God's children, what was wrong with them? What was the problem? That's the thing that I want to know. Were they uncivilized? If they were uncivilized, they have to say what they were. Like we know if they was uncivilized, and if they're uncivilized, why they're the ones who are running things on now? People need answers. When you're talking about oneness. Because you can't come and teach me consciousness and you do all of those ills. Then you can't, it means you didn't conscious and you didn't know what's true consciousness. Because if you know that everything is pure consciousness and consciousness is what creates reality, then you know there's wealth for all. Why you want to create a money system to enslave people? Why they're using that same thing to vaccinate people too? Telling me. All these cowards who telling me, oh, the your marriage, oh, when you love somebody, then it's sexy color. Cowards, why don't you reach out to me on Zoom? Let's meet on a Zoom call. And then me put it up on my channel. See, I hide in my face, hiding behind a computer, hiding behind a cell phone, afraid to stand for truth, and afraid to stand for what is right. I'm not a Martin Luther King pointing up in the A. Me pointing in no A. It ain't no man up in no A. It's inside of me. And you. And they didn't want you to know that. No, you know that. They will black out the sun. No, you know that. They will give you vaccination and then reparation. Strange. That's very strange to me. I hear Mars is our past and Venus our future. Could you please comment on this? Trust me, first time I hear the comment. First time I hear the comment. So I can't talk about something I don't really know. And I've never tried to teach about anything I don't know. Okay? And that's why, as I always say, if I didn't have any experience, I would not come and try to talk to anybody. Okay? Discipline minds. Right, you disciple. Yeah. Discipline mind. You have to discipline your mind. You must discipline your mind. And when you discipline your mind, you will realize that people was teaching you not to discipline your mind. People was teaching you to hate yourself, to bleach out your skin. What do you ask I want long straight hair for? Bunch of black women, long straight hair. TV, too much TV. And social media influence. You want long straight hair for? Love your damn nappy head. They give you a straight hair man and tell me 2,000 years ago he died for my friggin' sins. Which sin is he die for? Some white man will die for you. Keep your ass in slavery. That's what he would do. I live in a predominant black country and I had to have my experience at Bukomembe Resort. He allowed me to write a book called Bukomembe Resort and the Messenger. And I said in that book that later on, after the white man took all of the money and didn't even pay the people in the country for over 3 months, what a salary, that others gonna come later on, call them, they will say they are investors, that's how they hide themselves, investors, and they're gonna offer them a little bit more money. Now they come back now, you know, sandals. I just seen in the newspaper over 1,300 people, and they only want I guess they was just looking for a certain amount. About 300, over 1,300 people go looking for it. Why? Because they don't educate you when you don't leave school. What do you think you're looking for? For start a big business? No. For look for a job. And the Arabs right in the country to provide employment for them. Working for meager salary. You tell me when a man knows himself and he knows his self-worth and he knows his true value. I work in the post office for 17 years. And I always tell them, I leave there as Mr. Clean. I never steal, I never do nothing. They try all things with me because of, you see, just like how I'm here, that's how I was. They tried to find me so much at times. And they couldn't get you. They thought I was working in Obia. I remember one time, the permanent secretary in the ministry wrote me a letter and said, Mr. Hanson, if you know the rule of baseball, 1 strike, 2 strike, 3 strike and you out. Everybody in the post office used to watch me and just do me so one, including the postmaster general. Within a short space of time, they got rid of the postmaster general in a shameful way and the PS in a shameful way. People say, Hanson, what kind of man you be? And again, there's another postmaster general came afterwards. And because I'm a man who stand for what is right and he want to talk to me, I talk back with he talk about when he talking, I must speak when he speak. I said, what you really want with you? And I'm not a violent person, I'm just straightforward. Okay, so when you see me acting like this, okay? Never get myself mixed up in the law or anything, right? I say, what really wrong with you? Tell me, what you think you're talking to your child? You think you're talking to some little boy? But when you're speaking, I mustn't speak. So I deal with him. You know what he did? He went and he got letter from what the ex-postmaster general did write, what the PS did write, and he put all of them together, okay? And he sent the letter. When they sent back the letter to me, they said, Mr. Hanson, I want you to give me one reason why we shouldn't fire you, okay? I wrote back them a letter and I said, if you're going to fire me, you have to fire everybody starting from the head, because if the head sick, the whole body sick. And then I wrote a letter for my vacation. And my spirit within tell me, write a letter for vacation. And you will see you try to spite you and you're going to win. Man, I write me letter for vacation, man. And I waiting. I go in the office, I say, I write my letter for my vacation, I wait. He keep giving me things, he pushing me around. When I go to the public, so we call them again, we normally that over the government employees, we call it again, service commission, yeah. When I go to the service commission to receive my right away for my vacation, they tell me they never received no letter. What? When I went back, he tried to sugarcoat thing. They had to give me my vacations. Every vacation I went away, I went to Trinidad for my vacation. Everybody thought I go to Trinidad, go do some obia. Never get fired. When I leave the post office, I the only man ever leave with a check. Because they changed from under government to a corporation, and they was to pay off all the workers and give them their money and re-employ if they want to re-employ. If they do not want to re-employ, they don't have to. And I'm the only man who stood up for what is right. And I tell them I'll do as I please, because they do not employ me and they can't change my job description. And when they see how determined I was and I was doing as I please, they call me and they write me up my check for all the time I was there. And when they ask me if I would be willing to go, I say, of course you are, and I want to leave. So my brother and my sister, you have to stand for what is right. Even if it's you alone. Let me tell you something. You see, if I've been here speaking about some jam about Oprah, I've been speaking about Monique, Steve Harvey, I've been speaking about Kwame Brown and Charlie McDuckard, and I'll be speaking all of these things, man. People that be here like crazy. Sometimes I go there, I go on the internet and see a jammer, and people donating to me. It's the most donation I ever see anybody get. Everybody say, oh, that guy Charlie, man, I never like him. Well, our people just want to destroy one another. What's the problem? Why our people want to all destroy one another? But yet they're going to tell me interracial marriage because we are one and love. But I go heal yourself first. Some of the men of them who just be talking that they can't get no black woman because no black woman no want no sissy man. No man with no bars. You look at some of them who talk about, yeah, oh, they're wrong with interracial marriage because they can't get a black woman, because the black woman want to lose her. Sissify. Let me see. What's real will always prosper. Of course, I love that. Spiritual man. That's why I would always prosper. I would always prosper. Left, right, and center. Because what is real will always prosper. Universal flow. Thank you, my brother, again. You always support this work, and thank you so much. We have to go beyond words and thoughts. The letter kill it, but the spirit of consciousness give it life. Exactly. And a lot of our people be just talking. That's why I keep telling them, why is the experience? Everybody teaching, why is the experience? Sadhguru talk about his experience. He's an Indian guru. BlackMadGuru, I always talk my experience. You go all the way back. When I know start, you always hear me talk my experience. Come tell me what is the experience. I don't want to know how much book you read. I don't want to know how much you've been in Egypt. I don't want to know how much you've been in Africa. What is the experience? Spiritual man, we must be free both physically and mentally. Of course, you must be free mentally. You tell me about you're gonna get a relationship and you tell me because I love you, not see no color. And you're not healed mentally. Because you know what's going on. You know exactly what I'm. You see when people in Christianity and the white man come down, and the white man hold the Bible and tell them, oh, we are all one. Forget about this, what happened and all of that. It's for you not to speak on it. They don't want to become. What? I'm telling you, I'm being honest. I really want to know. I would like to sit with a white man and ask him why they don't like to be confronted of that. If you believe in oneness, right, and you believe the same power that builds is the same power that destroys, let us talk about it. It means there's a lot of polarity and we're different. Let's talk about it. Don't give me reparation alone. Okay, let's talk about it. It means there's something. What is it you're hiding? But I tell anybody we can transcend faster than anyone else on this race. That's why they keep our people in a brainwash. Think I can make any brainwash man that look like me come tell me any bullshit. I know you brainwash. And it's been happening hundreds of years. You've been going over this lifetime over and over and over, still being a field slave. You've been living this life over and over and over and over, still being a horse slave. I know. Because I fought to free many of you. And then turn around against your own for what? Clothes and food. When I went back in a past life, I see this strategy. Back in time of slavery, they used to keep you almost naked. It's something they look like a pampers, bare feet. And they used to be well clothed. It was a strategy. It's still working up to this day. You think some of them in Hollywood could come out and talk like this? But the salary cut. Then you give them more acting role. We must be free both. Okay, this one, yard mistake. Everything is everything. Yes, we need answers. Of course, you must need answers. That's all. No hate to anyone. But truth must be told. Man, I love you, my brother. The truth must be told. But I'm telling you from my experience, I definitely believe melanated people can transcend faster. And the faster our people reject Jesus, the false Jesus, and get the toilet paper and name the toilet paper Jesus and use it when they're going off, the more they will free themselves. That's a part of reprogramming your subconscious mind. Go and buy a toilet paper and name it Jesus. It's a part of it. If I sound like, I see what I'm saying, you know. Help you to reprogram your subconscious mind to know that no man ever walked the earth named Jesus who had special powers. You notice I always say, call him the name. Me never had Christ to that. Me never had Christ to that. Because Christ I experience. Me had the experience. I'm not bragging or boasting. It's confidence. Sometimes people get arrogant, you're cocky, no. It's called confidence. Self-confidence. That's what it's named. Self-confidence. Let me go down here. Thank you for your sunshine. Is our moon artificial? The reason why I always believe that the moon artificial, anything the white man discover, he conquer. Man, hotel would have done the up there. Hotels would have done the on the moon. Certain resort would have done the on the moon. For certain people who just billionaires to go and see. As a matter of fact, anything they go up there and tell you they want you to believe, me buying that. When a black being appeared to be, because he touched me, so I could see him with a mark on the eye. Don't like he come from a different galaxy. I could talk about that. We need to start to call on those kind of beings more powerful than anything else. That's why I believe when we put our power together, we could shake the sea and the sky and call on nature. We could call on the whole of nature and wake up the whole of nature. That's what I believe. Because when I start to awaken, I used to see in another dimension and see tsunami, and I could speak to the tsunami, and the tsunami just go calm. Why is it? What's going on? Why reparations now? Why vaccination and reparation? Why blacking out the sun? Where we're running from? We're hiding from? Why we black out the sun? But the Bible said the Lord their God is a sun, an S-U-N, and a shield. No good thing will he withhold from you. The sun never withhold any good thing from humanity. The sun never trouble anybody. What wrong have the sun done to you? When I love the sunlight, I was half naked in the sun. I was in a vest in the sun. I was in the sun. I love the sun. Some people hate the sun, want to go black out the sun. Cool the earth. The earth no want no cooling. I always say there's the ice people and the sun people. I always say that. And I would always say, and I would always let you know when I speak, I'm not speaking from the hate. I'm willing to speak with any white man. Because I'm not against nobody. Why should I be against somebody? A man who awake within himself like a fiery being. A sin. Come out in another form. I thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. When you talk them things, they say crazy, they're going to tell you you're crazy, they're going to tell you you're a psychopath, they're going to tell you all of these kind of things. That's what the normally does. But a man saying he's 400 years old, a man says he's how much years old, but that's a madman. That's brand name as crazy. Why do you think your name is a BlackMadGuru? And everybody say, why your name is a mad? Mystically adept divinity, that's what it means. Mystically adept divinity. I'm a divine being. Me and nobody's property. I'm no man's property. You telling me I must be vaccinated so I won't that can stop my death? That can stop death? When I die now, I die tomorrow, still death. And it ain't real. You know why I know that? Fuck you telling me about. The metamorphosis from a caterpillar to a beautiful butterfly. Life can die. Energy can only be transmuted. All these things, the transmutation energy. This is transmutation energy. She tell me what people rob, they rob us from everything. So you tell me I mustn't talk about that? Because I live on the internet? Because they could shut you down? Because they could do this? Because they could do that? I could survive. Why you think they just run their program different in the Caribbean? You want the mango cheese down here? You want the food in the wild? You don't want the fish in the sea? People back in the past used to be fishermen and farmers. No, everybody wants, especially our women, they were just in a short skirt and a high heel and sit behind a desk. And the men want to wear a tie and a long sleeve shirt and sit behind a desk and drive a certain vehicle. And you know your identity, you don't know who you be, and you think that's real in an imaginary world. And you know there's a manifestation of a thought. And people going on their knee and thanking Jesus. They, oh, Jesus bless me this vehicle. Jesus bless me this house. So, if Jesus bless you with the vehicle, who bless the inventor? Who come up with the invention? And the dealer, who have thousands and thousands of it. Man, I wake up the man. Wake up. And there was never used to be embarrassed about this. But sometimes when I listen to our people talking this, they are the only people who talk about nothing wrong with interracial marriage. Some boys tell me about it's too late. It's never too late. And they're coming from a place whereby it's one of the most racially diverse region in the Caribbean. One of the most racially diverse region in the Caribbean. And I'm telling you that because we need healing first. We must heal people first. And the healing only could come through truth. You have to teach them the truth. You think they want you to know the truth? Let me see this next one and then I'm coming close to a close, okay? Spiritual mind. True, because most persons will have already been living there. I will believe when I see they have hotels, etc. on the moon. Of course, I always say the same thing. That's when I will believe. Like, let me give you an example, right? When you read the Bible, they tell you that how God created two great lights, right? One to rule the day and one to rule the night. The sun does rule the day because you can't have a day without the sun. But every night is not a moonlight. But somebody will get an explanation for that. They will give me an explanation when they teach them in school, They will tell me some foolishness when they teach them in school, to try to explain to me now, say if you say that the moon will rule the night and the sun rule the day, and every day is a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and all them things, not a real thing when they tell you, It's just a cycle, the same cycle. Why? For 2 weeks, it's darkness in the night, and another 2 weeks, the light come back. And I could bet you some educated person going to have some sort of explanation. Where they get your explanation from? They will start that in school. So my brother and my sisters, that's what we will say, how to know your true disciples. Mash up the nest. I always say eagle fly. You say an eagle, you've been getting food all the time, from beak to beak. Now it's time to mash up the nest. And no other bird could fly higher than the eagle. Microscopic and telescopic vision. Could go so high. And he could still sail from all the way to the top and come down and take up a chicken off of the ground. He want his food live. Not dead. Chicken. So, my brother and my sisters, I really, really want to thank all of you who have supported this work in whatever way you have supported this work, and those of you who've been real with me. Okay, there always need for answers, because to be honest with you, I definitely sometimes I really want to know. I definitely want to know, but I believe as time go by I'll know even more. But when I speak about oneness, I'm speaking about consciousness, a universal consciousness. I'm not talking about the kind of oneness that some people are talking about. This kind of oneness which I'm speaking about would allow me to speak about race or any sensitive topic that people don't want to talk about, to help others to heal themselves. That's why I'm doing it. Not because I have any hurt or carrying any pain, because you see, many of us, we had past lives and there must be healing. So then many of you have to get that healing also. So I am doing all of this because I know many people carrying around those things inside of them. An interracial relationship is not going to heal it. And speaking about oneness and love is not going to heal it. It's only knowing the truth going to heal it. Okay? So, my brothers, as I said before, I want to thank you all very much. I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting this work and for standing with me. So with that, I think I want to come to a close. I want to say peace, love each and every one of you. I'm out.